You got me riled up again. Are we live? That's embarrassing. Got a good show for you today. Last call, political news on the Failure Stop podcast channel, the #1 channel where first responders go to be informed and entertained 5 days a week. Today, I'm joined with conservative Ant, as always, our political commentator here on the Failure Stop podcast channel. Join us every Monday for society and culture news with two comedians. We got true crime on Tuesdays, political news on Wednesdays, sports on Thursdays, case breakdowns Fridays. We got a lot to get into today and not a lot of time for me to jibber jabber on. Today's show brought to you by ghostbed.com/Wolfpack and factormeals.com/Wolfpack50. Hit it, Joshua.
The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on Sunday.
This is about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
Conservative Anthony, you son of a bitch. What's up, everybody? A lot of people in the live chat today. David J. Will. Why are you looking at me like that, Ant?
It's called Smize.
That's called Smize? What is Smize?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Before we go any further, is that like a fucking Beauty and the Beast coffee cup? Is that the teacup from Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
That's the gayest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Don't fucking coffee mug shame me, bro. Don't you mug shame me. I shame you. You don't shame me.
Oh, no. I just shamed you. That's gay shit.
We'll get into the gay shit in a second. We got a bunch of people in the chats. Tyler as the Falk, David J. You guys must like Anthony a lot because there's a lot more of you in the chats earlier on when Ant's on than when I'm on. It's making me jealous. It's making me a little jelly. And then Ant comes on here and makes fun of me in front of all my friends with my coffee mug. Thanks a lot. Low Ren, Marines Bloodbath, thank you guys for joining us. We got a lot of covering of the show. Got Nikki Haley crying like a little bitch. Russian, we got some Russian stuff going on. The guy's dying in the Gulag. It's always something going on over there. Wikileaks, Julian Assange doesn't want to come back to the United States, thinks the CIA will kill him. We're going to dive into that. And then the New York Times going hard in the paint on Biden's age. They're not happy. Coming on the heels of Jon Stewart's last week's episode that we talked about Jon Stewart's return, his 9-year return. And guess what? I think Jon Stewart has been red-pilled literally in the course of 6 days. That's what the left has become. I'm not hating on it. Hey, listen, if even Jon Stewart's coming out, he comes out with a little bit of stand-up and the left goes crazy and tries to cancel him. And he's kind of like, oh, I get it why everybody's kind of... I'm starting to understand like why people are flipping from Democrat to, listen, I don't even want to say that people are flipping. I think people are just starting to become awakened to the politics in general, where right has become left and left has become right. I think everybody's just trying to go to the middle and mainstream is just trying to be like, no, you have to identify as something, but we'll dive into it. There's a lot going on there. But let's get into this gay shit real fast. What happened?
I was on a show this week, and the host of the show, you guys, thinks that Eric Tansey is like super hard on me and like always bringing up my sexuality, and they think that it's super irrelevant. So I cried in the shower a couple of times, and then I realized that was gay. So. And here we are.
Dude, I love it when people like when you're fans, because I'm like new to the conservative Ant life, and you and I talked on the phone, I don't know, months and months and months ago, probably almost a year ago. And we talked on the phone and we had this like crazy weird dynamic where like it was very comedic. Like our first conversation, you were like, how do you feel about me saying the word retard? And I was like, how do you feel about me saying the word faggot? They're like, fair. And he's like, I'll give you faggot if you give me retard. I'm like, all right, cool. And then you're like, how do you feel? And it was just like you and I were just me and you talking on the phone, but it was as if we were talking and trying to entertain 1,000 people. It was hilarious. And then you invite me to your house and I come over to your house, and the shenanigans didn't stop there. Like, we were bantering back and forth all the time as if there was people there to laugh at us. And it was just you and I laughing at each other's dumb shit. So like, that's our friendship. We took a pretty, a couple of long car rides to some things. And again, just shitting on each other constantly the whole ride. So that was kind of our dynamic. But when we put it on video in front of your fans, all, almost 2 million of them, they were all like, Eric's a homophobe, or Eric's a jerk, he's mean. And I just started getting DMs. And
I'm thinking to myself, yes, I do politics, but I do comedy. Like, I give you whatever the news is, whatever the facts are, whatever's going on in my conservative and political comedy. You cannot be into comedy and politics and be weak. Like, you cannot. Like, hit the unfollow button, block, move forward. Like, there's no and I was telling Tansy earlier, I said, there's no, like, it takes a whole, I'm telling you guys, for God's sakes, guys, last week we had a winner for Pantless Wednesdays. I mean, you guys sent in the best like, this is not a group that gives a fuck about any of that stuff. But unless you're coming to me and you're like ready to fight me and you use one of those words, we about to fucking throw hands. But if we're, dude, come on, the best comedians do race jokes, gay jokes. You gotta do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you want to be included in the club, like, for me, if I didn't make fun of Deadleg not having legs and for being handicapped, and I didn't shit on him,
I have no legs.
Second,
I have no legs.
Yeah, look at me, I'm gonna wheel into position to produce for you today with my no legs, with my no leg. But if I did make fun of Kiefer for being a firefighter, he's not in my club. Like, if I'm not busting your balls, it means I probably don't like you, or I'm not comfortable with you, because that's what's entertaining to me. And I feel loved back. Like, if people aren't giving me shit, making fun of my weight or making fun of my hair or whatever it is, I feel like I'm out of the club. You got to have thick skin. And look, I'm not going to pander because you're gay, just because you've got this disability.
So wait, should we do a new, so before we move forward, okay, let's do a new Wednesday challenge for everybody, okay? I love this one. Send one of us three your gayest picture, and we will choose a winner. Are you guys down for that?
This is for you.
I mean, look, your gayest picture. Come on now. Look, I mean, Tansy just won. He picked up his cup. That's gay as fuck.
Hey,
Pinky's out.
I love it.
Like, I'm on it.
But we would do our conspiracy theory show. We do get some comments that are like, wow, that Eric guy, he's kind of real homophobic vibes. And, it's like, if I make fun of Deadleg for having one leg, I won't get a single fucking hate message from any of the fans, the conservative white fans. Nobody gives a shit. I can make cracks on JD for being black, and he makes jokes on me for being white. We haven't gotten one piece of mail or DM that was like, man, you guys shouldn't be that hard on each other. But the minute I go hard on a gay dude, all the white conservatives start simping, and it's like they want that one gay friend. You know what I mean? They want to protect something. And so they kind of like over simp for it, if that makes sense.
I've always said this before, okay? And I'll say it again. The worst people for the gay community, the black community, the Latino community, any of the communities are the ones that are simping for them. The allies, right? These are the people that are like, I have a black friend. These are the people, when you bring your black friend around them, they weirdly start touching their braids and saying, oh my God, your braids are so pretty. They would never do that to Sandra, who has blonde, curly hair. These are the people, because they feel that they need to overwork to like tell that person that they approve of them or something. Like, we're good. Like, we don't need any extra. But there are people out there in the gay community, the black community, all these other communities, they feel that they are oppressed, and you owe them something. See, you don't owe me nothing. If you don't like me, my life, do you know how many Christian followers I have that do not agree with my lifestyle and send me messages saying that they love me? They love me, they support me, because I know I've shit on some that don't, but I'm going to give credit to those that do, because we're all different, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Dude, life is too fucking short, and this country is about to explode, so let's get into it.
Mario Lopez, I don't know if it's the Mario Lopez, dropping $99.99, basically $100 here, to give the winner of the gayest photo. So there you go, Mario Lopez coming in with 100 bones. Thank you. So whoever wins the gayest photo contest, you're gonna get $100. I don't know. Yeah, why don't you throw in another one of your hats?
No, that's what I planned on doing. I was gonna send some swag over.
There you go, and you get some swag. Well, yeah, there you go. Now, listen, I don't know if anything's gayer than this, but for all of our female listeners out there, just stay with me. Listen, I love the ladies. I love the women. I support you guys and all your endeavors in the whole 9 yards. But listen, if you're wanting to be the leader of the free world, the head bee in charge, the head bitch in charge, I don't know that you should be seen crying on stage. Like, I just don't think it's a good look. I know I'm going to get some pushback on this, but like, listen, let me just finish my dialogue here. I'm trying not to be a toxic white dude in this scenario, but listen, play this really fast. This is Nikki Haley a couple of days ago. Do you have this clip brought
growing
up?
Emotional, speaking about her husband, Michael, a National Guard officer deployed in Africa and a recent target of Mr. Trump's mockery.
What happened to her husband? Where is he? He's gone.
I wish Michael was here today. And I wish our children and I could see him tonight, but we can't.
The former president on Fox News overnight
We only played you
attacking
a quick
Haley.
clip of that. Worse. It got worse. She went on with the fake tears. It's not a good look. I don't want that. I don't want the leader of the free world to be that emotional.
When you go to Saudi Arabia and try to make a deal.
Yeah, right. He's a major in a non-combat related area in the National Guard. Like, I get it, you miss him, but I guarantee you, even if he was home, you would be out banging somebody in your Escalade again, like you did in 2010, allegedly. I think America sees through the fakeness, and even if it's not fake, it's way too emotional. I don't want somebody, listen, I don't want Joe Biden being an old man like that with his finger on the red button. And I don't want an emotional Nikki Haley being that emotional with her finger on the red button. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy, because as the United States, we're supposed to be the strongest country in the world, which right now, obviously, y'all know that we don't look like that. I want to make a point real quick. So I don't know if you saw Trump's town hall, and I know that we'll get into that at some point, but there were two women that he had mentioned on there as his vice president. He made a good point. He said, you need to choose a vice president that is going to be able to be the president in the event that the president is no longer able to fulfill his duties. So he had Kristi Noem on there, which I love Kristi Noem. And he had the American Indian. What's her name? From Hawaii.
Shit. I wish you would have said that.
Gabbard.
Chelsea Gabbard.
Chelsea Gabbard, thank you. I think are both pretty strong women in comparison to what we're dealing with right now. You look at the vice president of the United States right now, Kamala Harris. Oh my God, bro. It's not good.
It's not. It's not a good look. And, I don't know why she cried. And look, Donald Trump's going to make stabs because that's what he does. That's what Donald Trump does. He makes the jabs. He makes the quick stabs. Did she cheat on her husband back in the early 2000s, 2010, I think it was? I don't know. I have no idea. That's what the Trump joke was, though. He was like, where's the husband? And he had made some other like jokes.
Oh, that was funny, though.
But you know what? And look, what else can he do? Because he gets made. I mean, he's still called a rapist. I mean, I was just watching one of these threads. I was going down the rabbit hole, the Nikki Haley rabbit hole, looking at all of her supporters on some of the Reddit threads and everything. And they're like, oh, well, infidelity is not a good look, but at least it was consensual, unlike her opponents. And I'm like, okay, so which part of which case is Trump involved in where it wasn't consensual? If you're talking about the one that he lost the $350 million sued for, we know that one's not even close to being true. Like, you could just look at that woman and be like, yeah, there's nothing behind that. And it was all consensual at the time. She just didn't like it after the fact. Allegedly.
Well, here's the thing too. When people are in the public eye, a lot of these sexual harassment, sexual assault, all the, racist, homophobic, xenophobic, all of these words, unfortunately, are used so much out of context, and they're diluted. Okay? So you have to take this stuff with a grain of salt, especially somebody like Donald Trump or whatever. Just say any news person, any person on TV. Somebody says, well, yeah, back in 1921, I was sexually assaulted by them. And you're like, okay, but so why did you stay friends with them for all these years? You know what I'm saying? So like,
right.
Or why did you, and I know they're like, there's no time limit on when you can say, I'm not saying that. I'm not victim shaming. I'm not doing anything like that. But all of these things need to be taken into consideration when you're on a world platform.
Yeah, like Russell Brand, like the dude has sex with thousands of people, and then all of a sudden, when he's really exposing big pharma, then all of a sudden, a news crew has to go and find somebody and interview tons of people and try to convince them that they were sexually assaulted by Russell Brand. I mean, it makes real sexual assault victims look bad, and it decredits them.
I agree.
It's okay, fellas. We don't have nothing to worry about here, because if you lose to nobody, I don't know that you have the vice presidency in you, because she lost to literally nobody. They voted nobody else but her in Nevada's primary election. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. That like literally they wrote in anybody but Chelsea Gabbard, So did you hear about that, Ed? Like on the ballots?
Yes.
So yeah, why is she still in this? And here's the thing, this is what scares me about Nikki Haley, is I think there is an agenda. I think somehow they already know Trump's going to either go to jail or he's going to die in a plane crash. Something's going to happen. And so they're just, and the Democrats and the left, well, I don't want to call it the Democrats and the left. I want to call it the machine, the big political machine, right and left, conservative, Republican, the neocon, whatever you want to call them. They want Nikki Haley to be the next sitting, or at least the next representative of the Republican Party. And so are they stringing her along because they know something's going to happen? Why hasn't she dropped out yet?
She is backed by so many of the Democrats already financially. And so I think that she is listen, when she lost to nobody and people are like, she needs to drop out, I was like, no. Because she hasn't done, her state is South Carolina. So, like, if I were in her position, why would I drop out before my state? Like, I would drop out after I lose my state, which polls are showing that she's going to lose South Carolina. Then she gets on every meet. Huh?
It's not even close. The polls aren't even close in her favor.
It's not even close. But to play devil's advocate, how are you going to drop before you do your state? Like, you do your state, then drop. But now she's like, I don't care if I lose, I'm not dropping. Why? Because Fox News is pushing you. Every other network is pushing you. Why are they pushing her? Why does Fox News always have her on? She's on every single show on Fox News throughout the entire day. I see this fucking puta's face all the time pop up, and I'm like, what do you want now?
Well, but they won't give RFK Jr. anytime.
And that's concerning to me as well. And the fact that you have a Republican, Nikki Haley, she just said it this morning on Fox and Friends in the morning. If we don't give more to Ukraine, we are going to, we're done, or we're going to lose this war. Russia's going to win. And I'm thinking to myself, bitch, how much more do you want to give to fucking Ukraine?
At this point, I'd rather just like go over there and get work done. You know what I mean? Like $60 billion. How about this? Save your $60 billion, put it into a wall here, and I'll join the National Guard and just send over a whole bunch of National Guard dudes to posture up in front of Russia, and let's just fucking kick this thing off. At least our borders will be safe here, and my children will have a future, and we won't have to worry about the shit that's happening in New York, which is the title of today's show. The war with illegal immigrants that's happening in New York is spreading country throughout our own country. And again, why are we allowing this to happen? Why is it okay? And of all the threats that there are, nuclear war and this global warming and things, if you don't see the writing on the wall with these open borders, I'm really afraid for our country. And here's why I'm afraid from our country. A new bill is up for being passed that illegal immigrants can now join the United States military, and you don't have to be an immigrant to be in our country. We already see illegal immigrants becoming police officers. Wow, do you really want somebody that's not a citizen fighting beside you in a war for America? Are they really fighting for America? I think what you have there is then you have an army. You have an army of yes men that are going to do whatever the military industrial complex wants them to do, because they have so much hanging in the balance of the outcome, whether they get their citizenship or not. And they're not going to push back, and they're not going to fight back. And that's why we're getting rid of good American soldiers that didn't get the facts, guys that aren't just yes men. We're getting rid of the critical thinkers, and then we're allowing people who barely even speak English to come in. It's very, very, very frightening.
Not only that, but there were over 400, I think it was 430 Chinese nationals that came in yesterday alone. Okay. Tulsi Gabbard, or not Tulsi Gabbard, Nikki Haley is so worried about TikTok and being a Chinese spy app. Bitch, why don't you go take your happy ass to the border and talk about the Chinese nationals that are coming in here at over 400 a day? You're not worried about that? But you're good though, right? You're good. Well, you're good. You want to take down all of these social media platforms, which, by the way, I am not pro social media platforms, but I am pro getting your information out and pro freedom of speech. So they're talking about how TikTok is a way for the Chinese to tap into us or be spies. Your iPhones, your Androids have been that already for over a decade. Hello. Hi.
Yeah,
Your Ring doorbell. Everything in your house. Hello?
I always make the argument that I'm like, listen, TikTok, I don't scroll through TikTok and get ads of shit that I've said. Like if I say Canon camera, I open up Facebook here in a few minutes on my phone, I'm going to get blasted with Canon ads. I don't get that on TikTok though. Like I don't get the feeling that, I mean, I know that TikTok is listening, but I don't like how it's not as invasive. But here, they talk about TikTok being a way to propagandize people. And I remember Nikki Haley even spoke about it, that people who are listening to TikTok or watching TikTok are more likely to be anti-Israel and be more anti-Semitic because they are being propagandized by TikTok. What videos have you posted lately that have been taken down, and what's the propaganda behind that?
Well, that's exactly it. If you want to fight for something on social media platforms, fight for equal free speech. So, Vivek Ramaswamy has it right, because he's utilizing platforms like TikTok, because you guys, your kids, Gen Z, the new voter, they don't give a fuck about the news, the newspaper, none of that. They are going on to, so they are the generation of the scroll. They are scrolling on social media platforms, okay? They are on their phone in school, out of school, 24/7, okay? So if you don't change to the times, of course they're going to win. Of course they're going to win. So why doesn't Nikki Haley do something with her life and be like, you know what? I'm going to at least fight for conservatives to be able to be on these platforms as well, and have people make their own decisions 50-50. Propaganda is everywhere. You watch a commercial right now, and there's two gay dudes in a dishwasher commercial. For what reason? For what reason? Just show me the fucking dishwasher. Just show me the dishwasher.
Even gay dudes don't wash the dishes. They'd get a woman to do it for them. It's a woman's job.
Yes, I love her. She's amazing.
Just kidding.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like Like, I'm saying, like, it doesn't even need to have a husband and wife in it. Just have somebody using the dishwasher. Like, it doesn't have to automatically be. It's all propaganda. Everything, the news.
What did you have taken down off of TikTok this week?
Our show last week talking about how we about the gay crosswalk.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And you put that down. Why? Like, why couldn't you put your opinion on the gay crosswalk? I saw tons of gay crosswalk stuff. Oh, look at these racist bigots, blah, blah, blah. I saw lots of that on TikTok, but because you said that you're okay with it and that then they take it down, it seems like a little propagandish to me.
Yeah. And, that's the type of stuff we should be fighting against. I mean, it was hate speech or hateful behavior and hate speech or whatever. And I thought to myself, all I said is y'all created these people that are doing this. Like, you did this to yourself.
Right.
So that's my point. That's exactly my point. It's like, if we can't have a voice, why should they have a voice? And that should be what you're fighting against. Because at the end of the day, when you go to McDonald's, that camera footage can be automatically seen and shared and viewed by any country in the world. We are viewed all day, every day. Our phone conversations, probably through our iPhone cameras, through our TVs, our computers, everything.
Wait,
so TikTok,
wait. You don't think
it makes me think, what?
You don't think that they know what porn I'm looking at, do you?
I'm pretty sure everybody knows.
Oh, I didn't look up that midget stuff. That wasn't, my kids must have got a hold of my phone. I didn't look that up.
Yeah, I'm sure. We know that you like the Sister Act, the nuns porn.
I'm Christian. I'm not Catholic.
Right, which is the, wait, do Christians not have nuns? No, I guess they don't, do they?
No, we have the Baptist preacher.
Oh, you guys got the mega churches with the guy that takes all your money. I remember.
Yeah, the cult leader.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm this whole Nikki Haley thing. I don't know. Let me know. Am I being sexist? Am I being too much of a toxic white male? For me personally, I don't. And listen. I get it. She's fake crying. But I'm offended by that too. Like, I think that's disingenuous, and everybody can see that you're not really crying and you're not really that upset about it. I mean, you would be campaigning if he was home anyway, and you still wouldn't see him. So, it just feels very. She feels very much like a politician to me.
Agreed.
I don't know. Listen, I'm not like a Trump lover or anything, and like Trump's the only guy. But like I'm pretty much at this point. If you want to know where I'm at politically in life, I'm pretty much anti the machine. I'm anti. If it's big government, I don't want any part of it, because big government equals big war, bigger taxes, more money, both sides. And it's disgusting. And the only person that hasn't been brought up in politics is Donald Trump. He's the only one. So find me a dude or a girl that has no ties to politics and literally wants to fight the man. And I'm down for it. I'm down to respect it. Listen, that's what kind of sold me on Obama on the first room. I thought he was this different dude that was coming out to, but I didn't realize, I was young at the time, that he was just a part of the machine. So anyway, politically, that's where I stand. I just want somebody that's not the machine, and she seems very machine-like to me. Let's head over to the video we have here of what's going on in New York City. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, we had the New York immigrants that jumped the police and then kicking them in the head and just really creating a very hostile environment for these cops. And if you've never been in that kind of environment, very scary. I was in law enforcement for many years. I was in the military for many years. There's several times where I was outnumbered and surrounded by a large gathering and crowd. And I could tell those stories to prove it to you. But for brevity's sakes, I'm not going to. Just trust that I've been in these situations. And although I didn't get kicked in the head, I was still like, I don't like this many people who disagree with me or don't like me surrounding me in this way. So now, couple that with actually being kicked and punched, it's very terrifying. These guys are going to relive that. They're going to have nightmares. That doesn't make them soft. Let me surround you by 14 or 15 people that you don't know, that aren't speaking your language, and they're all kicking you and punching you. You're going to what if that to death when you get home and hug your wife? What if one of them stabbed me? What if one of them broke something over my head, hit me with a baseball bat? I mean, these things are going to live with those officers for a very long time before they get over it. And then the judge, no bond, but not like a no bond in a good way. The judge just says, oh, we're going to release you on your own cognizance. And then, just make sure you come to court. There's no bail bondsman or anything. Just make sure you come back. And lo and behold, they flee, and we got to get the marshals involved. And then weeks later, we have this incident.
This is coming to us from the live leak.
NYPD is trying to serve a warrant. They're at an immigrant housing area. It's like a big, massive tent that's holding immigrants, and the immigrants aren't allowing the police to make the arrest on a warrant that they have. I'm not familiar with what the warrant is. There's a lot that's been going on in New York with moped gangs that are illegal immigrants, illegally using mopeds to rob people on the streets. And so, there's a lot of break-ins, B&Es, robberies. It could be a number of things. But NYPD's in here with about 3 girls and 4 guy officers trying to make an arrest. And the crowd's going to get out of control and start throwing chairs and cots. And basically, it's a riot that comes out. Now, the black female here, so one Hispanic is hitting a cop with crutches. Another Hispanic just threw a bed mattress. The black female cop just got hit with a chair. I mean, this is like a war zone going on. By the way, this black female's got this ridiculous hairdo that I don't agree with. I mean, as a police officer, you should, tighten that up a little bit, but that's New York. We've got dancing cops in New York. Nobody's really professional. Aero Security doesn't give a fuck. We've got some guys who have no idea how to put handcuffs on somebody, although he just got whacked in the face with a chair himself. All right, we can stop there. I've done giving you the play-by-play. Listen, when you're in the moment, when you're looking at this from a bird's eye view, you can see the totality of what's going on, and maybe you could say it's not that bad, or although I think most of you watching it are like, fuck, that's a little effed up. That's not good. I wouldn't like it. Imagine being on the ground where your vision is about as narrow as a binocular by a monocular. Once that tunnel vision kind of starts to set in, or you get hyper focused, you don't have the peripherals. What you see is a horde of people around you throwing things at you, yelling at you in a language that you don't understand. There are batons. There are some guy was hitting the other cop with crutches. That's a very chaotic moment. And it doesn't make you want to be a cop tomorrow. You don't want that to happen to you again, but this is a reality in New York now.
I'll say something that's probably very unpopular, but I don't care. So we have front doors on our house that have a lock on it for a reason, because there are people who live in this world that want to come and take things from you and do harm to you. So the people that are in this video have already entered this country illegally. They broke the law to get here. So they're starting out on a track record of, we don't believe in your law systems, but we want to be here. And now you have this. Now you have repeated instances over and over again of them not following the laws that we have. You have to follow them. I have to follow them. But these people are going to not only not follow them, but in New York, you're going to get up to $10,000 on a debit card from taxpayer money that they're just going to hand out to people who are illegally committing crimes, and they're being paid by your tax dollars to do so. Maybe they shouldn't be here in this country. Maybe call me a racist, call me whatever you want. But if you're here illegally and you want to fight the police and you want to commit crimes and you don't want to be a productive member of society, you get the fuck out.
What's your take on it, Amp?
Well, especially because, Josh, you can't just go to any other country and do the shit that you do here. You would disappear completely. You wouldn't even be in jail. You would just disappear. Yeah, I mean, this look, this goes hand in hand with businesses that are rushing out of New York at this point. Not only did this, the crime in New York, places like New York City and California and Chicago, not only are the citizens of these cities being affected by this, but the housing costs are going up for Americans and not for, like you said, up to $10,000 on a debit card for these criminals. And if you come into this country illegally, you are a criminal. And they're going to places like Texas, like Florida, all of the red states. With all of this going on, I can't understand how anybody on the other side, I can't understand. They have a mental illness, but on the other side wouldn't wake up and say, wait, this is bullshit. Like, this is bullshit. And to top the cherry on the fucking cake, when this whole thing happened with Donald Trump, it's not because it's Donald Trump, okay? Many real estate investors are thinking about leaving, or not even thinking about it. They're saying that they don't want to do business anymore in New York. And why? Because what they just dinged Donald Trump for, real estate investors do that, honey, all the time. He doesn't owe nobody, but he paid back his loans. Okay, it wasn't like he dipped out on a loan or some shit. Like, who is he paying the $350 billion to? Who's getting that money? Letitia, what the fuck is her name? Who's getting the money? Okay,
one of those debit cards.
I'm tired. And then when you have the guy from Shark Tank, who's one of the biggest money hustlers that we've known in our time, who's not even really political, getting on TV and saying New York is trash, I'm out.
That was great, by the way. That was great. Yeah, I mean, the truckers. Let's not forget about the truckers.
I would love to talk about him.
Yeah, so the truckers are doing like a 3-year boycott on delivering goods to.
Will they follow through, though?
Well, here's the thing. I think, if X didn't exist, if Elon Musk didn't have X, then I would say, no, it doesn't exist, because the mainstream media, I know, listen, stop fucking DMing me that we're not calling it mainstream media anymore. I get it. I'm still calling it mainstream media because I haven't caught on to the new lingo.
$1 million. Sorry, guys, not billion.
Yeah, million. So these truckers are organizing a boycott of delivering goods to New York City. They're going to avoid New York City, but the mainstream media will not cover this at all. They're afraid of what happened in Canada. Frankly, they know that this is real deal shit. It's happening in Germany, UK, that the farmers had a very good protest with tractors where they took their tractors and blocked streets. I mean, did real world damage to Germany and some other countries where the farmers are being oppressed. And they know that this kind of stuff works. It's hitting people in their pockets, and it's not helping out your political gain. So they don't want the truckers to go through with this, and they're trying to squash it by not allowing this to go out on Instagram, not allowing you to talk about it on YouTube, and not allowing you to talk about it on Facebook. Did I already say Facebook? The only place you can do it is Twitter. Yeah. So, and how many truckers are on Twitter?
Well, so there was a man, his name is Chicago Trucker, I think.
Right.
And his video is the one that Trump shared that went viral. Okay.
Right. It's still trending on Twitter too.
It is, but he retracted. He took his post down. And then the next day, now he's trying to say that Fox News, which I'm no fan of big media, but trying to say that Fox News is painting him to backtrack. You literally came out with a fucking statement, bro. I called you out on X already. Come for me. You came out and you said the reason you are not going to do it anymore is because Chicago Ray, that's it, is because your grandson doesn't approve of it. I don't know where y'all came from, but if I told my parents or my grandparents I don't approve of this, they would have told me they would have kicked me from here to fucking next Wednesday. Okay? They would have said, I don't care what you think. You ain't paying fucking bills, bud. Okay? Little kids should be seen and not heard. This guy did that. He pulled his post down, went on to Twitter or whatever platforms, and now did a retract statement saying, you can do it. And he wasn't the leader of this, by the way. I will give him that, because he was painted to be the leader of this trucker movement. He was not. He just said that this is what he wants to do. But We don't have time for you to tell us what you're going to do and then take it back because of your woke liberal fucking grandson. Okay? Either grow the fucking cojones or don't. Shut the fuck up then. You did it for clicks, Chicago Ray. Don't care. I'm telling you right now. But there's another guy right now on X that is a fucking alpha male that's fucking doing the damn thing. And fucking, I respect that. But don't come and say that media outlets are saying you backed out. You did back out. You retracted what you were going to do. You said you're not doing it because your grandson doesn't approve of it. I don't give a fuck about your grandson. I don't. Because he's probably got pronouns.
I wonder what would have happened in World War II if, like, you're getting ready to go to war for your country, getting ready to head over to the Pacific, fight Japan just after they bombed Pearl Harbor, and your grandson says, "You know what, Grandpa? I don't think you need to go to the war."
Damn it.
You know what? You need to learn how to do some arithmetic and shut the fuck up. We're going to go save the country from the rest of the world. Thank you. Like, let the adults be adults. Children are children. There's a reason why we're not allowing them to vote till they're 18, not allowing them to own a firearm. There's a reason why all of that stuff exists. But we're going to just retract that for a couple of other weird little things. We're going to take their opinion and then put it on this pedestal. They're kids.
Yeah, when you're old enough to rent a car, then you can come talk to me about trucker movements. Yesterday, I told my kids to get off the sidewalk. We did some street skateboarding in downtown Raleigh, and so they're doing the street skate. And I said, "Listen, when somebody comes, you stay on the right side of the sidewalk and give them the right of way to the left. Look, you're being the asshole. You're the one on a skateboard. So if anything, stop skating, pick your skateboard up. But if you're already moving too fast and it's easier, then move to the right." No sooner do I say that, do they go 3 wide on the sidewalk. Some dude's walking towards them. And I'm like, get off the sidewalk. Get off the sidewalk. And I was like, I call my son out by his name and I go, get the fuck off the sidewalk. What are you, a numbskull? Like, what do I have to do? And the guy was like, hey, it's not that serious. Okay, I can go around him. I was like, shut the fuck up, man. Go on. Like, I'm disciplining my kids here. And my wife was like, he wasn't happy that you swore at our kids. And I'm like,
is that his kids?
But listen, my kids are in the wrong. I said, how many times do I gotta listen? I'm very kind to my kids. I'm very polite to my kids, and we have a great relationship.
Yeah,
but they're also, I respond well to, hey, Eric, don't touch that. Tansies, don't stop fucking touching it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I get it that's how I respond. So my kids respond the same way. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But look, at the end of the day, next time we go downtown skating, the next guy's not going to have to worry about, are these 3 hooligans with long hair and baggy clothes going to be skateboarding in front of me and not be polite and respectful? Not going to be my kids. My kids are going to be like, whoop.
But Tansy, this is the problem. It's our fault. I'm sorry. It's the millennials that have kids. It's our fault because these kids are pussies. Okay. These kids are fucking pussies. My dad would have broke my jaw from here until fucking Peru if I did any of the shit that they're doing right now. Our parents were the same with us. So why did we get so soft with them? I have heard and seen you fucking parents. I don't have kids. Thank God. I don't fucking want them. Okay. I've seen parents say, well, Johnny doesn't really like that house, so we're not going to buy it. I don't give a fuck what Johnny likes. He doesn't have the $450,000 for the fucking house. You
down payment?
Pussy-ass parents. I mean, my dad would have said more than get the fuck off the sidewalk when I was a kid. He would have probably grabbed me.
You don't sleep in the garage.
Grabbed me from here. But I'm saying what you did was great. I mean, and that guy, I would have been like, you're next.
Yeah. My wife was like, boy, he wasn't happy. And I was like, well, that little cuck's not going to fight me, for one thing. But two, like, listen, I'm not going to have kids that act like thugs. Like, look, you're already not in school. You're already skateboarding on sidewalks in a downtown. You're already setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Last thing I want you to do, listen, I don't mind that people judge you for the way you look, but you're not going to act the way you look. You're going to be like Post Malone. Just because Post Malone's got tats all over his face and he's got all the things doesn't mean he's a huge piece of shit and he's an asshole. he proves the stereotype wrong. Listen, you start acting like a skater thug, I'll burn your fucking skateboards. How about that? My dad always said you can have a mohawk, but the minute you start acting like a kid with a mohawk, I'm going to shave your fucking mohawk. And guess what? I got a mohawk. I started hanging out with mohawk. Well, I got a mohawk because I was hanging out with kids that had mohawks. And then I started acting like them. And then I got my head shaved. And then, I ended up not hanging out with those kids. Listen to today's show brought to you by ghostbed.com/Wolfpack. No, let's use a promo code ANT for Wednesdays. We use the promo code ANT for Conservative Anthony. He's sponsored by Ghostbed too. So you can use Wolfpack or ANT, but right now 50% off across the board site-wide still for first responders. They love us to death. They have been a loyal sponsor since day one. They've kept this show alive and rolling, paying all the hosts on the show. Really going above and beyond because they absolutely believe in what we've got going on. So head over to ghostbed.com. They got the cooling mattresses, the cooling sheets. The pillows are incredible. Their beds made in the good old USA. They got the athletic Venus Williams edition beds. They got firm beds. They got soft beds. I mean, Ant and I went down to the manufacturing facility and laid on, I don't know what, fucking 50 different beds and styles. I don't know how you would physically choose a bed. I choose the firm one. That's what I have, the Luxe. I have the Ghost Bed Luxe, and I got the firm one. But, you and I laid on so many beds that I'm a guy that doesn't want to have choices. I just want you to tell me what I need, because I'm telling you right now, after laying on all those beds, I don't know which one I would have been able to pick. If they were like, Tins, you got to choose one, I'd have been like, fuck.
We got the Venus one.
You got the Venus one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's because you kind of wanted
firm.
It's firm, yeah. And listen, I can't wait to get back down there and sleep on your guest ghost bed, because you guys packed the house out and we love that. So head over to ghostbed.com, use that promo code ANT, and then factormeals.com. I always say mental wellness, mental health starts with a good night's sleep. Stay healthy, stay alert, stay alive, and that's all with a good night's sleep and a good diet. Factor Meals is meal planning to the next level. You don't have time for court prep, for CrossFit, for jiu-jitsu, for whatever case that you're working on. If you're a firefighter, all the extra stuff that you guys got to qualify, CPR classes, you don't have time for meal planning. Trust me, you don't. You need that time for your kids. It's affordable. Go to factormeals.com/Wolfpack50 and get you 50% off. Everybody's raving about Factor Meals right now. My wife's all in on it. There's a bunch of people in the FTS Wolfpack Fitness group, the private group that we have for fitness. By the way, we have an FTS_Wolfpack private Facebook group. It's off the chain. It's hilarious. And there's subgroups off of that. So join that. We also have the Instagrams and all those other things too. But everybody is loving these Factor Meals. Hundreds of different menu item options, from breakfast to shakes to dinners. Also, they have dinners for two, for date nights, all these things. You can do protein heavy, calorie conscious. You can do vegan, vegetarian, you name it. Let Factor Meals do that meal planning for you. Take that extra time and spend it with your fam. All right, last two stories of the day.
I wanted to tell everybody, by the way, 30 pounds down.
Woo!
30 pounds down, y'all. So the fitness journey is real.
Okay. You're looking great. You're looking so good that I was questioning my own sexuality. You're just glowing. You're just glowing. You're absolutely glowing. If for those of you who are just listening, imagine kind of like a more olive complected Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt goes Italian is what he looks like right now. Mixed in with a little George Clooney gray. So Ant is like if you cloned George Clooney and Brad Pitt in Italy.
I love that. And shout out to Laser Lounge here in Cape Coral, because I'm not ashamed to say it anymore, but I do get a little bit of the boat.
Really? You get rid of those wrinkles in your forehead? I just grow my.
I want to live forever, you guys.
You're so basic. I grow my bangs out so you can't see me, because I'm 31. I'm 31.
The fact that you use the word bangs is pretty gay.
Shows that I'm.
Do you have a scrunchie? Do you need scrunchies?
Hey, first of all, I've got thin skin. Okay, I can make fun of you. You can't make fun of me. Just we got Julian Assange right now. Listen, if anybody knows me, personally and knows me well enough, you know that I'm a huge Julian Assange fan. Politically, I don't align with Julian Assange, but principally, if that's a word, I align with Julian Assange. I love a man of principle. I love a man who puts his I guess, puts his freedom where his mouth is. This guy set out to expose the industrial war machine that was the United States. He went up against Bush. He went up against Obama. He went up against Hillary Clinton. And he started exposing things on it in a great level. There's tons of podcasts that tell you exactly what Julian Assange broke out. Politically, they just crucified this guy. And then they went after him for espionage. And this guy, listen, nothing that he did, they try to convince you that he was getting in the way of the war and that he was putting troops. And none of that's true. If you go and you look at the whole case and you looked at it objectively, this guy had every right to question, and he had every right. And listen, he's not the one. Chelsea Manning, the soldier, the intelligence analyst, came to him and said, "I've got information you need to have," and Julian Assange told her how to get him that information. He didn't go to a military intelligence analyst and say, "Can you give me information?" They called him first. And that's what WikiLeaks was all about. And it's still to this day, I know that, Josh, you want to talk about it. Go ahead, Josh. Say something. What am I going to say? Say something. See something.
If you see something, say something, unless it's about the United States government. Because that's exactly what this is. But not only just that, Manning's been pardoned. So Manning was convicted, went to prison, but Obama let Manning out.
Right, because she ratted out Julian Assange. They basically made her say what they needed her to say about Julian Assange for her freedom. They trade. So, and listen, I don't blame her. I'm not going to prison for the rest of my life for some guy that I don't know, for a cause that I only mildly agree in. Chelsea Manning had a lot of problems, a lot of issues. She probably didn't need to be serving in the military to begin with. Definitely didn't need to be an intelligence analyst. But at the end of the day, the FBI, the CIA used Chelsea Manning to say things against Julian Assange, to put Julian Assange where he's at right now. So, but yeah, I mean, our government came up with this. If you know what was, you put it back up there, that the link that you just had.
See something, say something.
Yeah, and this is on which website?
Department of Homeland Security.gov. This is live. This is today, because I was searching to try to find the meme, because back when we were in the service, that was what was all over. If you go to every bathroom, there was see something, say something, and loose lips sink ships.
Right.
Those were like, you couldn't talk about anything with your neighbor.
This is all about, like, the Whistleblower Act and the bill that was passed for whistleblowers. But hey, if you're going to be a whistleblower against the United States government or against Ukraine, you're going to get killed for it. You're going to get in prison for it. The new Julian Assange news is that he's being held in Australia. And he doesn't want to be extradited back to the United States because he's in fear that he will be suicided by the CIA, just like some of the other people. And so that's kind of what's trending right now with the Julian Assange things. If you're sitting in your squad car or your meat wagon, or you're at the fire station, waiting to cook your next meal, venture over and start looking at some Julian Assange breakdowns and some podcasts and trying to get the whole totality of it. It's a vast rabbit hole. I've probably spent no less than 200 hours studying the Julian Assange case. I can't wait till it's finalized and over and we can tell the entire story. I would love to write that book on Julian Assange. Unfortunately, I think probably somebody else is going to write it before I do. But I
love a good meat wagon, by the way. Love a good meat wagon.
That's what we call EMS trucks. We call them the meat wagon, by the way.
Whatever. Meat wagon, I'm all about it.
It's not that gay Ford Raptor that you're thinking about. Meat wagon. But speaking of see something, say something, get killed for it, we got this Russian, the Russian, and everybody's losing their minds. It's Navalny dies in a Serbian gulag. He was speaking out against Putin and Russia. By the way, long time ago, Alexei Navalny. And he died in a Serbian gulag known as the Polar Wolf. It's, what you see in all the movies. It's this, Antarctic, South Pole style, just frozen tundra. There's actually a movie, a true story about the three men who've actually escaped. That it's a great movie. I forgot the name of the movie. I'll put it up on our Facebook group, FTS Wolfpack. It's a great movie. It's a movie about survival and everything else. But these guys escaped this.
Why is this? I'm sorry. So why is this? A, why is this my problem? And B, why is Russia after Tucker Carlson decides to interview Vladimir Putin?
Right. This is all going back to because Gonzalo Lira, who was an American citizen and a Chilean citizen, what died in a Ukrainian prison. And he died for espionage, and nobody really gave a fuck. And now they're trying to paint the picture that Putin, now that one of these spies or espionage guys dies in a Russian prison, we're going to use that for propaganda and talk about how bad Putin is and talk about how, Putin is crucifying or politically assassinating his rivals. I mean, not that here in the United States we're trying to throw our political rivals in prison or anything like that, or that Ukraine had the same thing happen less than a month ago. We're not going to talk about that, but now it's happened in Russia, and so we're really just going to ramp this whole Russia thing up. Russia. And listen, I'm not a Russian simp either. I've been against Russia since Rocky 5 or 4, whenever it is that he went and fought the big Russian guy. Listen, I'm a hater of Russia too. I saw the movie. What was the hockey movie? What was the hockey movie? Miracle on Ice. I saw Miracle on Ice. I'm not a Russia fan, but I'm also like, I'm not blind to what we're trying to do here. We bomb cities in Hamas, and we back Hamas or Israel-based rockets in Hamas and kill a bunch of Pakistanis, which, by the way, I'm not opposed to in any way. I mean, I don't ever want to see innocent people die, but that happens in every war. But it's okay when we do it in Fallujah. It's okay when we do it in Hamas. But when Russia tries to do it in Ukraine, he's a war criminal and he's wanted for war crimes. I mean, it's always the loser of the war that's the one that's hunted for war crimes here. Well, we're doing the same exact shit. Like, how about just nobody do it? Everybody be held accountable for it, or we shut the fuck up about it. One of the two. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and it's like, just like I had encouraged people to go watch the interview, I'm not a Russian sympathizer. I don't give a fuck. I'm America first all the way. I care about my country, okay? But you have to watch it. I mean, you have to get your, what does this guy have to say? We've never had anybody go over there and, talk to him in a while. So, what's up?
What military strategist tells you not to listen to your adversary and what he has to say, and what strategist tells you that that's not a good idea? Like, I want to know everything about my enemy. If I'm getting ready for a UFC fight and I'm fighting the big gay bear, conservative ant, that would be your UFC name, the big gay bear.
I love that.
I would watch every podcast. I would watch every fight clip, everything that Ant does. I would watch because I want to know everything there is to know about my adversary, everything. So why is that now frowned upon? Why is it now we don't want to see what our adversary has to say? Do they think the American public is too stupid to decipher what's bullshit and what's propaganda and what's not? Are we that fucking dumb? I mean, and who is it to tell us that we're dumb? So the government is so smart. Joe Biden's government, the government that's putting a dude with dementia in charge of the red button of nuclear war, that government thinks that we're too stupid to decipher what Putin says is real and what's not real. Come on.
Corn Pop, honey. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
He's just too incompetent to stand trial. He's not too incompetent to run this country. And I know the reason why we're doing all this, and I have an answer. It's because in the last 20 years, we have spent $8 trillion, according to Brown University, on the war on terror, and that stopped. So guess what? You have to get that money from somewhere else. We're over $160 billion in. They want another $67 billion. I asked just a simple question. What'd you buy with it?
Oh, I love that new video of Zelensky belly dancing. Have you seen that video? I don't know if it's real or not,
No,
but
it's
it looks
real.
hilarious.
It's real. Yeah, no, it's real.
It is real?
Oh yeah, it's 100% real.
Funny. It's so funny. He's belly dancing like in a woman's belly dancing costume. Man, what a weird guy. Listen, that's all the time that we have for today. Ant's a very busy man. We do want to say happy belated birthday. I don't know if we said it last week to Ant. I think he turned 32 this year. Was that it? 32?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Let's do that one.
32. What do you got coming up this week, Ant? You got anything big going on? Any big shows this week?
This week I don't have much. I will be back at Mar-a-Lago on March 13th, y'all. Super excited for that. And I have an event in New Jersey. I told you guys I would give you the information as soon as it's out, but May 16th we are doing a trafficking awareness event in New Jersey. So I will give you the information on that. Y'all are more than welcome to come out. 100% of the proceeds are going to Change Unchained and organizations that are helping to battle trafficking in your own backyard, not just the stuff that we can't handle and the Epstein lists and all that stuff, but the stuff that you can control or you can keep an eye out on. Always watch your neighbors, watch your backyards. This stuff is happening right under our noses. And don't forget, guys, Conservative Ants on Instagram and everywhere else. But if you want to send me your entry for today's or this week's special gift or winner for our contest on Wednesday, it is the gayest photo winner.
So I think because Mario Lopez has given $100 to this, I think we call it the Mario Lopez Gayest Picture Award.
Fine.
Like the Dundies.
Like the Dundies, but it's the Mario Lopez Gayest Picture Award for people.
Low Ren at the beginning of the show said it was rigged because Ryan won last week. Y'all don't know how good his pick was. Again, all picks are private. We can't. None of us. We don't share it with anybody else.
You don't want you guys to see it. You don't want to see it. We're doing you a favor by not showing you.
No,
these pictures.
They are deleted right away. His was just better than y'all's. I'm sorry.
Loren, listen, I thought Loren was going to win because he was the first one. I didn't realize there was going to be that much more. And the winner went all in. And Loren, you went all in. His all in
was good too. Will was good too, but his went even. Ryan's went to even next level than that.
Yeah,
if you can imagine that, Will.
Yeah. No shame there. No shame from Ryan. So let's see what you guys got. Blow us away with your gayest picture.
Blow us.
Or you could be a lesbian. It could be gay is lesbian too, right? So we got some ladies.
Yeah.
I think we're like y'all can do that female listeners at this point too.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I mean, of course we want the girls to send.
Well, you sent one, but you didn't go to the extra step, babe.
Huh?
Okay, so Instagram, whatever. That's all I got today, guys.
TJR says really quick, do you get extra points if you're drinking Bud Light in the picture?
That's pretty gay.
Anything that's gay. Yeah, and that's up there. That's pretty fucking gay. So all right, guys, until next time, gun sub, Kitty up, Conservative Ant, Eric Tanzi, Deadleg from Deadleg Media. We'll see you guys.